Southeast Georgia and the Lowcountry. This is WJCL 22 Morning News. See us now.
Breaking right now, this man is in jail accused of barricading himself inside of a motel room for hours. The reason he was hiding from police.
Right now, crews are working to recover what's left of a sub we now know imploded on its way to see the Titanic. What we've learned about the people on board, including one man's ties to Georgia.
In just hours, well-known Savannah rapper Quando Rondo could be able to bond out of jail. I'm Nakaya Carrero live in downtown Savannah with the demands his attorney is making this morning.
We want to thank you so much for waking up with us right here on WJCL 22. Happy Friday. I'm Emma Hamilton.
And I'm Frank Solkowski. Let's go ahead and get meteorologist Catherine Liberta in here as well. And Catherine, I tell you what, all week long we've been dealing with that rain, and tell you what, woke up this morning, had some more of it.
I know we are going to see that rain kind of linger around through the rest of the morning, but we should clear up as we make our way towards about 10 a.m. this morning is when we should start to see all of us be clear of that rain. Temperatures right now sitting in those lower to mid 70s. We can see Tybee and Hilton Head sitting in those upper 70s, but Savannah, Richmond Hill sitting at 74 this morning. Now your 12-hour forecast, like we were saying, we can see this break in that rain. That's going to be good. We'll start to see some mostly cloudy skies, but then those rain chances return as we head into the evening. Between 3 and 9 o'clock is when I would say we are going to see those rain chances move back in. But looking at our highs for the day for today, we are going to see lots of those mid 80s as well. Again, everybody going to be seeing those chances for rain this afternoon and headed out to the islands today to start your weekend early. Again, chances for rain later this afternoon, and I'm going to be talking about all of that in less than 10 minutes.
Catherine, thank you. Well, breaking overnight, a man is dead after a shooting at this convenience store. A witness tells WJCL 22 that the suspect shot the man in the parking lot using a rifle of some sort. He says that he heard about 15 rounds. Now, this all happened around 10 o'clock last night at the corner of Abercorn and Duffy Streets. Investigators say that the man died at the hospital. So far, no arrests have been made. Also breaking right now, a man is in jail after barricading himself inside of this Midtown motel for hours this morning. It all started around midnight on Stevenson Avenue near Abercorn Street. Investigators tell WJCL 22 that they were serving a man with a felony warrant when he locked himself inside of a room. They arrested him around 3 o'clock this morning. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Right now, crews are working to recover the submersible that went missing on its way to see the Titanic. We just learned yesterday that it imploded, killing at least 5 on board, including a man with ties to Georgia.
Yeah, yesterday, experts released that they had found debris in the search area. Now, one of the men on board was the director of underwater research for a group based in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. He's considered to be an expert on the Titanic. Others in the group included the CEO of the company that launched the sub and a father and son. Well, this morning, remote vehicles are on the scene continuing to gather information. Debris from the sub was found about a third of a mile from the Titanic wreckage. It's unclear whether the bodies of the victims will be able to be recovered. Now, coming up about 30 minutes from now, we'll tell you all about the famous Georgia YouTuber who's lucky to be alive after he was supposed to be on an expedition and canceled.
We are just hours away now from finding out whether Savannah rapper Quando Rondo will be released on bond. We want to check in now with WJCL's Nakaya Carrero. She's live for us this morning at the Chatham County Courthouse. And Nakaya, there were some changes made to this hearing overnight.
Yeah, that's right, Emma. The rapper will now appear in person in front of a Chatham County judge right here, right behind me in a courtroom at 1:30 this afternoon. The rapper's real name, who is Tyquan Bowman, is part of a 49-count indictment that names 18 other people. Bowman is facing 4 felony charges this morning. He's accused of running the Rolling 60s gang here in Savannah, buying drugs, and illegally using a cell phone. Ahead of today's hearing, his attorney has filed a motion for discovery. He is requesting evidence from the Chatham County District Attorney's Office, asking for copies of any statements made by Bowman, written or oral, and for any statements referencing Bowman. Now, WJCL 22 News will be in the courtroom, and we will bring you the latest information on air and online at WJCL.com. Emma, back to you.
Live for us in downtown Savannah, Nakaya, thank you.
They need to know that we are prepared to fight.
A real estate developer is suing a 93-year-old woman who refuses to sell her property. They say parts of her property encroached on their property. But as WJCL 22 News' Andy Cole reports, she's fighting back, saying she won't be intimidated.
I can guarantee you she never thought that at 93 years old she'd be in a legal fight.
No, I didn't.
Josephine Wright and her family are battling with developers over encroachments the group claims are on their property. Wright says Bailey Point Investment Group, LLC, came to her asking to sell the property off Jonesville Road, which has been in her family since the Civil War. She refused. So in February, the investment group sued Wright, claiming a satellite dish, screened-in porch, and shed were encroaching the property behind her house, where they plan to develop nearly 150 units.
We want to keep our property within the family and not try to be harassed to sell it.
Wright and her family have since lawyered up. They're countersuing the group, saying in court documents since she refused the sale, quote, Bailey Point Investment has begun a consistent and constant barrage of intimidation and harassment.
Nobody up here is against development per se. Nobody up here is anti-business.
Right.
I mean, we just want to keep what's ours, and we want to be able to pass that down.
The future is uncertain for Wright and her family. The property that she says has been in her family for more than a century is now being threatened. But Wright says she's ready to fight.
This is not David and Goliath, because God has her. This is a more even fight than that. But they need to know that we are prepared to fight.
What I want them to do is just leave me alone.
All new this morning, more charges after a deadly movie set shooting. The woman who provided the weapons for Rust is now facing charges of tampering with evidence. Prosecutors say that she handed off drugs to another person on the set to avoid additional charges. She's already been charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Well, this morning, more than a dozen South Carolina lawmakers endorsing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for president. That's 11 state House members and 4 state senators. Earlier this month, state GOP leaders set February 24th as the date of South Carolina's Republican presidential primary, but it still needs approval from national party leaders. Right now, there are 12 candidates running for the Republican nomination, including South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Former President Trump is leading the already crowded field of candidates. And squaring off against President Joe Biden in the Democratic race is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Mary Ann Williamson.
We're trying to tell the president that Democrat and Republican, we think this is a widely held view in the Senate, that we would have your back to make sure that Putin does not use a nuke.
New this morning, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham wants to strike back against Russia if they make a nuclear attack on Ukraine. Senator Graham and Senator Richard Blumenthal of New York introduced a resolution to consider an attack on Ukraine an attack on NATO. Now, this means that the U.S. would be obligated to enter the war.
That the threat of Putin using a nuclear weapon in Ukraine is real. And our message is to those around Putin that if you do this, if you follow his order, if he ever gives it, you can expect a massive response from NATO, and you will be at war with NATO.
Senators say that their goal is to show Russia the risks of using nuclear weapons against Ukraine.
Traffic Track 22 right now as you're headed out the door this morning. Maybe you're starting that weekend early. If you're headed to the airport this morning, times are fairly normal. Savannah to the airport, just under a 20-minute commute. Hilton Head to Savannah, just about an hour, as well as Hinesville to Savannah, just under that hour, just about a 45-minute drive right now. Statesboro to Savannah, though, if you're headed into downtown, just about an hour commute this morning. And across the area, we are seeing lots of clear roads this morning, no accidents to report. And looking outside right now at Wayne County, US 301 at US 341 in Jessup, we can see lots of wet roads due to that rain that they are seeing down south. But if you want to keep an up-to-date live look at any of that traffic all day, you can visit WJCL.com/traffic for all those latest updates.
Well,